We often learn a skill or a skill set, but we don't intentionally practice that skill set. And when that happens, you end up losing the skill set and not taking full advantage of that particular thing that you just learned. In this video, I'm going to share with you how a little bit of practice can lead to big results. So small stakes practice can lead to big stakes results. For those of you who don't know me, my name is John Lin. I'm a urologist in Gilbert, Arizona, also your humble host of the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group, where we crowdsource practice management solutions for everyone's benefit. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story of how I got a free car wash. You see, I have 3 teenagers, and 2 of them are driving right now. One of them couldn't care less about her car until it gets really, really dirty. Now, we have membership to a car wash, but her car is not part of that membership. So she was away for several weeks, and she said, "Dad, would you mind washing my car before I return home?" She was actually teaching other Boy Scouts. She just attained her Eagle Scout. She was teaching other Boy Scouts at a scout camp about 2 hours away. She said, "Dad, would you mind having my car washed by the time I return?" Of course, I would do anything for my kids. But her car was not part of the car wash plan to which we subscribed. So what I did was I drove her car to the car wash. And as I drove up to the car wash, there was a nice gentleman, young kid, who was standing there. He had a big afro, blonde hair. I drove up and rolled down my window. And he said, "Hey, my name is Milton. How can I help you?" I said, "Milton, looks like you're having a great day." And he said, "Yeah, it's not bad. It's going well." I said, "Milton, you're going to hate me. You hate people like me. I'm going to ask you a huge favor. You see, I have membership for 3 of my vehicles, but I don't have membership for this one to get a car wash. Would it be an impossibility for you to put me through today?" Oh, he didn't say yes. He said, "Well, if you subscribe to a monthly plan for $5 additional as a trial membership for this vehicle, then you're good to go. You can have the wash today and everything is set." Well, I didn't want to pay for a car wash, not because I couldn't afford it, but I really want to just practice and see what kind of results I would get in negotiating this little deal, small stakes practice. So I said, "Milton, I really wasn't thinking about having that done because my daughter doesn't really use a car wash. She's not the kind of person who comes to a car wash on a regular basis. So I was hoping that you'll be able to help me out." And he again talked about, "Hey, for just $5, you can get this premium car wash plan. You can always cancel it at the end of the month if it doesn't work out." I turned to him and I said, "Milton, it sounds like there's nothing you can do for me." And he immediately said, No. I'm going to help you out today. It's just I wanted to ask if you wanted to sign up for the monthly plan." He ended up putting me through. I got my car wash for free at no additional cost. So why do I tell this story to you? And the reason I'm telling you the story is because I wanted to share with you that you have to constantly practice the skills that you learn. I read this book by Chris Voss called Never Split the Difference several years ago, and I purchased and shared this book with a lot of people. We even had a virtual book club via Zoom in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group, I think a couple of years ago. I used the techniques in this book, I would say almost every single day. Every patient that I see, every interaction that I have with someone who has some leverage with me or against me. anytime you want something from somebody, you're in a negotiation. And the most dangerous negotiations are the ones that you don't know that you're in. These are small stakes interactions. And I use the same techniques every time I'm asking for something from somebody. For instance, whenever I go stay at a hotel, I will always try to get an upgrade. And you have probably seen 1 or 2 videos that I did in the Thriving Urology Practice Facebook group where I shared how I did that. And the technique is all the same. First, you develop a rapport. Second, you have a high anchor. And then you go for a small ask. And if that didn't work, I throw out, so there's nothing you can do for me. Now, nobody wants to feel like there's nothing that they can do. So anyway, Milton helped me out in the end. But these are the same techniques that you would have to rehearse and use and over again. In addition, during the negotiations, I did not ask for a yes. I specifically asked for a no. And that's just another technique that I picked up in this book. Again, it's something that I use every single day when I see patients, when I am dealing with other people, anytime, if I go to Starbucks, I rarely do. Anytime you go to the grocery store or something like that, and if you're asking somebody for something, you are in a negotiation, and it would behoove you to learn some of these skills, because as you get better at doing this, when it comes time to bigger stakes negotiations that was in, where it ended up being thousands of dollars, you have the skills, you have the fundamental skills that you've polished, that you've learned, and you can deliver without any hesitation. And that is something that I encourage you to do anytime you read a book, and I highly encourage you to read books. The older I get, the more I realize how little I know. And the more I know, the more I realize, oh my gosh, so little. I know so little. And it compels me to want to read more books so that I can really up my game in everyday life, whether that is business, whether that is in urology, or whether that is in negotiations, interpersonal skills, or communications. Speaking of communications, what I'm doing right now in front of a camera is a way for me to practice. Because I just finished a 1-week-long course on it's a virtual class on public speaking. It's a virtual masterclass on public speaking. It's 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday, led by an Australian who's Vietnamese. And anyway, he's a magician. He's a public speaking coach. Phenomenal course, but it was not cheap. If I don't take the lessons that I learned and apply it every single day, and part of that application is practice, intentional practice about rate of speech, about pitch, about tonality, melody, pause. All these things combined improves my public speaking skills, improves my online presence, virtual public speaking skills. So anything you learn, you definitely want to put that into practice. The small stakes negotiations can turn into big stakes results when it counts. Anyway, as usual, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. And if you are going to be in Alabama, I've been invited to speak at the inaugural Alabama Urologic Network. It's the Alabama Urologic Society meeting. It's the first one that they're holding. It's going to be in Orange Beach, Alabama. I've never been there before. The resort sounds lovely. If you're going to be there at the beginning of October, I will see you there. Otherwise, thank you so much for the privilege of your time. Please take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye-bye.